Hey everyone! If you have diabetes, a trip to the doctor can sometimes feel like a high-speed interrogation. But what if all those questions aren't random? Today we're going to piece together the puzzle and find out exactly why your doctor turns into a detective during your visit. Right? It's so easy to feel like you're under a microscope, but let's try flipping the script on this. It's not an interrogation, it's an investigation. Your doctor is the lead detective on the case, and you, well, you're their most valuable partner. You're the one holding all the most important clues.
So where does any good investigation start? By gathering evidence, of course. In medicine, we call this taking a medical history. But it's so much more than just filling out a form. It's the real, hands-on process of collecting all the little clues to build a full picture of what's going on with your health.
And this, right here, is the heart of it all. Every single question, no matter how small it seems, from how's your sleep to when did your symptoms start, it's another piece of your unique health puzzle. The whole goal is to solve that mystery together to create a plan that's tailor-made for you.
Okay, so where does our detective start looking for clues? Well, a lot of the time, the investigation kicks off with a few classic, telltale signs that point them in the right direction. We call these the polyclues. What's so interesting here is how these 4 clues create this really clear pattern. Think of it like a chain reaction. First, there's polyuria, which is just a fancy way of saying you're running to the bathroom a lot more. Naturally, that leads to polydipsia, which means you're super thirsty all the time. Then comes polyphagia, you're feeling hungrier than usual. And the final, really curious clue is that even with all that extra eating, you might see some unexplained weight loss. These are kind of the big 4, the smoking guns, if you will.
But, a truly great detective doesn't just solve the crime that's already happened. They look for patterns and clues to prevent the next one, and that's exactly what this is about. In diabetes, we call these potential future issues complications. So the questions aren't just about figuring out what's happening now. They're about being proactive to protect your health for years to come. All right, so this is where things get really interesting. This next phase of the investigation is all about looking for clues that might seem completely unrelated at first glance, but are actually crucial pieces of the long-term health puzzle. So your doctor might ask something that sounds a little scary, like, have you ever felt super dizzy or confused, or even passed out? They're not trying to alarm you. They're actually looking for signs of 2 very different kinds of emergencies. On one hand, you have hypoglycemia, that's low blood sugar, which can cause things like sweating and shakiness. And on the other, you have DKA, which is much more serious. That's when your body produces too many acids. Knowing if you've ever experienced either of these helps your doctor manage your future risk.
Next up, the detective starts looking for clues in your body's wiring, the nervous system. The main culprit they're looking for is something called neuropathy. It's basically nerve damage that can happen from high blood sugar over a long period. And boy, it can show up in some really surprising ways.
And this is exactly why the questions can feel like they're coming out of left field. Hey, have you felt any numbness in your feet? Do you ever get dizzy when you stand up too fast? Do you feel totally full after just a couple bites of your meal? See, they're not random at all. Each question is a very specific probe to see if nerves in different parts of your body might be getting affected.
Okay, next stop on the investigation tour, your eyes. Here, the detective is looking for any signs of retinopathy. That's just damage to the tiny, delicate blood vessels in the back of your eye. And since protecting your vision is a huge priority, the questions they ask here are absolutely critical.
So, when your doctor asks about blurry vision, or if you've ever had something like cataracts, or, and this is a big one, when you had your last eye exam, they're collecting vital evidence. The name of the game here is early detection. Catching any issues super early is the key to preventing serious vision problems down the road.
And if you're wondering why there's so much focus on this, well, check this out. It's estimated that about 1 in 3 adults with diabetes has some form of retinopathy. 1 in 3. That stat alone shows you just how important this line of questioning really is. Okay, so up to this point, our detective has gathered all the physical clues, all the hard evidence. But that's only one piece of the puzzle. To really crack the case, they need context. And that context, well, that's your life. It's your habits, your background, your story. This is where the investigation gets really personal, and for good reason. Your life details are what shape your treatment plan. I mean, think about it. Are you a long-haul truck driver? Your risks for low blood sugar are totally different from someone who works in an office. For women, did you have diabetes during a pregnancy? That's a huge clue for future risk.
Even something like how often you get infections can tell your doctor a lot about how well your blood sugar is being managed. And of course, no detective worth their salt is going to ignore a family pattern, right? They always check the records. Your family history is a massive clue, especially when it comes to type 2 diabetes. Knowing if your parents or siblings have it helps your doctor create a much more proactive and preventative plan for you, maybe focusing on diet and exercise a little earlier on.
And finally, the detective needs a full inventory of all the tools already in play. This means every single pill or medication you're on, and not just for diabetes. Why? Because some meds, like steroids you might take for inflammation, can actually make your blood sugar go up, basically working against your treatment. A complete list is absolutely essential to make sure everything is working together, not against each other.
So after all that digging, all those questions, what do we have? We have a complete case file. We have all these individual, seemingly disconnected clues that now, together, form this powerful, complete picture of your health.
And this is so cool because it shows how the physical exam part of your visit helps confirm the story you've told. It's the corroborating evidence. That drop in blood pressure when you stand up, it might just confirm that clue about neuropathy. A really fast pulse could point to dehydration. Each vital sign is another piece of evidence that helps solidify the case.
And really, that's the big takeaway here, isn't it? Your medical history is so much more than just a checklist for your doctor to get through. It's your story. It's unique to you. And telling that story honestly and completely gives both you and your doctor the most powerful tool you could possibly have to manage your health and live a fantastic life. So the next time you walk into that doctor's office, I want you to remember your role. You're not just a patient answering questions. You're the key informant, the star witness, the lead detective's most trusted partner in solving the puzzle. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Knowing all this, how are you going to approach that next conversation? Thanks for tuning in.